Bill O'Reilly here, Tuesday, May 12, 2020. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. Polls show Democrats and Republicans split on the country's virus response. President Trump tells America the nation has prevailed on testing. Inmates in some Los Angeles prisons deliberately trying to contract the disease. Some British pubs face extinction following the contagion. Also ahead, the future and your money. But first, new polls show Americans mostly split down party lines on the country's response to the pandemic. Monmouth University finding Democrats have been more personally affected, while Republicans drastically favor reopening the economy now. 47% of left-leaning voters say they know someone affected with COVID, compared to 37% of conservatives. That's because more liberals live in big cities like New York. When asked how fearful they are about the illness, 60% of Democrats said very. 25% of Republicans and 38% of independents feel the same way. Conservative voters are also more optimistic about the economic recovery. 80% of GOP supporters are hopeful America can reopen the country soon, compared with just 53% of liberals. Some of them don't want a quick economic rebound for political reasons. President Trump telling Americans the country has prevailed on testing and effectiveness. Mr. Trump saying, quote, numbers are looking much better, going down almost everywhere. Despite that, the White House says all staffers have to wear face masks inside the West Wing. Some jail inmates in Los Angeles deliberately trying to contract COVID. LA sheriffs confirming the prisoners are intentionally exposing themselves to COVID as a way to get out of jail or be admitted to a hospital. British pubs struggling to stay in business during the country's lockdown. Leaders from the UK's Beer and Pub Association say 50% of the nation's saloons will not survive. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, confirming this week the bars will not be serving any ale or fish and chips or beer or anything until August. In a moment, the future, how you can make some money. Right back. Our world has obviously changed when you venture outside. Face masks are everywhere, and the kind of mask that you use matters. We all want a mask that gives great protection, like medical professionals get with their N95 masks. The Boomer Naturals 30-day face mask provides 92.2% antibacterial protection. It's comfortable, easy to breathe in, and to speak with. And the masks come in both adult and children sizes. Not only is the Boomer Naturals mask highly rated, but it is affordable. Less than 30 cents a day. These Boomer Natural masks can be used up to 30 days by hand washing them with soap and water. I recommend you order yours right now at boomernaturals.com. Use code BILL20 at checkout, save 20% every time you shop. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $50. That's code BILL20 at boomernaturals.com. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. When up to 40 million Americans have job insecurity, you have to get smart. Economically, big changes are coming. First, the stats. The unemployment rate in the USA right now, about 15%, the highest level since the Great Depression. In 1933, during the Depression, the unemployment rate was 25%. We may get close to that. More than 30 million American jobs vanished since March. The hardest hit sectors. Oil. The price of oil down to $24 a barrel. Gas prices per gallon expected to hit $1. Certain parts of the USA, I never thought I'd see that. Shares at Exxon down 38% in the past 2 months. Financial services, banks, hurt by falling interest rates with loan payments a major source of income. 4 congressional stimulus packages aim to stabilize banking, which they will. Manufacturing. Goods from Caterpillar, Deere, car manufacturers down at least 11% since January. Auto production mostly suspended during the national shutdown. If you have some cash, this is a great time to buy a vehicle. Airlines devastated. Travel down more than 90%. Most planes flying at 20% capacity. A third of millennials have now lost their jobs. Hardest hit states, the same as those with the highest number of infections. New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Illinois, California. The gig industry hit hard. That includes contractors, photographers, caterers, musicians, consultants. 60 million Americans work in the gig market. That's largely cash for services. So what should you do if your job is at risk? Well, you have to anticipate the worst. And then you have to get temporary employment if you're sitting on your butt. In my town on Long Island, restaurants need people delivering food. Pools need people to clean and maintain. Gardeners need people to do their jobs. If you are willing to work hard, you will get paid. And it's temporary. So in the long run, how should you look at your employment? Well, what do you like to do? That's the key. You want to make a living, you want to make money in America by doing something you like. And you can get trained on the internet while you're sitting at home. There are literally thousands of college courses, high school courses, degrees you can get on the net. These schools are desperate. They want your money. So you can work on stuff during the lockdown. Check it out. And then there's the personal attitude adjustment. Life is hard. Unexpected things always happen. That's the pandemic. What a message this is. And you can't do anything about it. But you can always make money in the USA, again, if you're willing to work hard. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message by actually writing it. For more news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com for honest and incisive pandemic coverage. In a moment, something you might not know. We are all using lots of hand sanitizer these days, but it can be hard to find. If you need a reliable hand sanitizer from a brand you can trust, I'd like to tell you about Real-Time Hand Sanitizer. Real-Time offers the best sanitizer I've ever used. It contains 70% alcohol, doesn't dry out my hands. Real-Time Hand Sanitizer and Skin Conditioner is infused with nature's ingredients, including aloe vera and vitamin E, conditioning your skin as it cleans. Real-Time Hand Sanitizer does not contain parabens, artificial dyes, or fragrances. Real-Time Sanitizer, formulated and packaged right here in the USA by the makers of Real-Time Pain Relief. Best of all, it's in stock right now. So for a limited time, you can save $5 on the 12-ounce bottle of Real-Time Hand Sanitizer when you use the coupon code BILL. Again, that's coupon code BILL. Please go to rtpr.com. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. The global pandemic has introduced some new terminology into people's lives: flattening the curve, social distancing, and herd immunity. Medical experts say the virus will not be completely defeated until a population reaches, quote, herd immunity. So what's that? Basically, enough people contract and defeat the disease so the bug runs out of new victims. Scientists say about 75% of populations must come into contact to vanish the virus. The USA has already achieved herd immunity for a number of diseases, including measles, mumps, polio, and chickenpox. There are just 2 ways to reach the 75% threshold. The disease runs wild through the population, killing the vulnerable, while the healthy survive, or the more preferred option, vaccination. Methods like social distancing can slow the spread, but once the folks leave the house, infections go up. Sweden pursued herd immunity from the very beginning of the pandemic, leaving its economy open while isolating the old and the sick. The results in Sweden have been mixed. The country has 26,000 cases of the virus and 3,300 deaths. Finland, 6,000 cases and 250 fatalities. Similar statistics for Norway and Denmark, all those countries locked down, unlike their Swedish neighbor. Recent testing shows 25% of the Swedish population has now been exposed to the virus. And here's something else you might not know. The United Kingdom also tried to pursue herd immunity back in March, but bailed after infections and hospitalizations went off the rails. Great Britain has more than 250,000 cases and 32,000 fatalities. On March 12th, the same day France closed schools and businesses, Prime Minister Boris Johnson said, quote, "I must level with you, level with the British public. Many more families are going to lose loved ones before their time." Ultimately, the UK abandoned its plan to, quote, "keep calm and COVID on." Back after this. Two guys, Kyle and Josh, were both losing their hair, which was no surprise to either, since they knew male pattern baldness ran in their families. The way they dealt with their hair loss, however, couldn't have been more different. Kyle put it off, losing more and more hair. Josh went right to Keeps.com to learn how to keep his hair. Keeps offers generic versions of the only two FDA-approved hair loss products out there. The genetic versions saved Josh a lot of money, and the consultation was simple. He answered a few questions online and snapped a few pictures of his hair. A doctor then evaluated everything and recommended the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for Josh. It was shipped discreetly to his door. Keeps lets you save your hair without ever leaving your home. Please go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/Bill to get your first order of Keeps hair loss treatment 50% off. Half off. That's Keeps.com/Bill, Keeps.com/Bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.